It's always, it's taking a lot of learning. So guys are doing a lot of thinking, a lot of processing right now. Meantime, you put in a new offense, it's difficult. Obviously, this offense with some of the triple option stuff that we do is especially difficult now because as a receiver, you have to be locked into the pass game and the run game more. So it's definitely been different, but they're learning it and they're getting it, and we're progressing every day.
Pretty easy to come back to this for you after spending a year in West Virginia.
Yeah, I mean, most of the plays, but always there is always something new, that they put in last year that we didn't do. But but for the most part, most of it, so you come back kind of knowing.
And take us through some of those conversations you might have had with Coach Chadwell about coming here after he had taken the job at Liberty. What was the kind of deciding factors that made you want to kind of join back up with him?
It just made sense for me and my family, and so we decided to make it.
Who are some of the guys in your room that are kind of stepping forward this spring?
Right now, I don't think anybody's stepping forward more than anyone else. I think we have, we got a lot of improving guys, and that's what we need. We need somebody to go out there and separate themselves from the pack, and so we haven't really had that yet, and we got to keep working to get that.
In this offense, compared to more of a traditional offense, how does what role does the receiving group play, would you say?
You're counting a lot. The ball's gonna get on the perimeter a lot. It's not a lot of just downhill, inside zone or outside zone where it's hitting between the tackles. It's going to be a lot of balls on the perimeter, a lot of balls getting pitched where it's essential that we have to make the block on the outside. And so, it puts a lot of onus on you because if you miss your block, you get exposed with the ball being out there. And so, in the run game, you definitely have to be locked in. And that's probably the biggest difference. Most offenses, if a receiver misses a block, nobody really notices. But when that ball gets pitched and it's out there and it's the corner and the outside receiver, he doesn't make the play, everybody notices it because it's a negative yardage play. So it's really being responsible for that part of the run game, but also having to do as much of the pass game as anybody else in the country. So, you kind of double time and having to learn, a lot of run game and a lot of pass game. And so that's the difficult part. But when you learn both and you lock in and you know it well, we have a lot of success as we had at Coastal.
Feels like there's the receivers that have been here the last couple of years do take some pride in blocking. Have you kind of found that here, that a lot of these guys have embraced some of that stuff?
Yeah, they have the want to. We have to clean up some stuff technique-wise, and again, it comes to learning a new play and having to do some different blocking schemes they've done in the past, but they definitely have the want to.
Reese is a guy that you obviously knew at West Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
What are you hoping that he brings to this offense?
I'm hoping he gets a chance to really show what he can do. He gets a chance to show his whole skill set and be a prominent weapon for us.
The years that you spent in the NFL, what do you think those years taught you that you wouldn't have known if you hadn't been there and helped you grow?
Really just going out there and appreciating every day. In the NFL, I was never a bona fide starter or a bona fide star, and so every day you took the field, it could be your last. You never knew when you're gonna get cut. When they were gonna bring somebody else in. So every time cleats touch grass, you have to go out there and perform. And so that's what I try to instill in my guys. Is like there's no such thing as like an off day or a day where I just had a bad day where you can just shrug it off. Like every day you go out there, you got to perform. Somebody's always coming for your spot. Somebody's always trying to get in the rotation. And like if you don't take it as a blessing to be out there every time you're out there, you're wasting time.
Shedro's a guy that has played a lot of football here at Liberty and is making that switch to receiver.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel that transition is going for him this spring?
He's still learning. I mean, he has a ton of speed, a ton of potential, really good player. He's still got to learn because it's different going from running back to receiver. So he's got to learn just some of the route stuff as far as just technique and how to do a few things. But he has the potential and he has the ability.
Hands been good for him so far?
I think so. Like I said, everybody's kind of been the same. Nobody's been performed just worse than anybody. Nobody's just went better. So that's where we got to find the separation.
Collectively, as an offensive staff, do you guys feel like that unit is where you guys want it to be at this point, where you are now?
It's hard to say. Like I said, when the offense is totally new, it's about learning. Like guys are still learning, and when you're learning, you're not playing 100 miles an hour. And so once we start playing 100 miles an hour and playing with confidence, that's where we'll see where we're at. But I think we're in a good spot as far as guys knowing what to do. We're still working on how to do it. And then once we get there, we'll be in a good spot.
As you kind of go into this last week plus of spring ball, what are some of the things you want to focus on with your group?
Technique. It's my big thing. All about technique. All about having that toolbox of things that you can use, techniques you can use in any given situation, whether that's in the run game or the pass game. and just being able to recognize when to do stuff. You know, I think as a receiver, you know, you go online and you see all these people running great routes and doing this and doing that, and trainers are doing this and doing that, and guys just they watch so much stuff and they try to do so much. But I think it's simplifying the game, you know, and not trying to do so much, but making everything look the same, and really keeping those DBs off kilter and offset.
Have you seen anybody in the group that's, you know, maybe kind of, you know, that's been around for a little while that's trying to take more of a leadership role in the room vocally?
There are a few guys that are trying to step up, but like I said, we still got to separate ourselves.
As a staff, is it too early for you guys to start to kind of taking a peek at some of the opposition, getting some early reports on other teams you're going to be facing here this fall?
We've looked at a few things, but I think right now we're really focused on our team, you know, because we can take a look at teams we're playing, but if we're not where we need to be, it's not going to matter.
What about the character and personality of the receiver room gets you excited for what's to come next year?
I think the fact that we have guys that care, and that's one thing I don't doubt. I don't doubt that we want to and that we care. And so that's really good to see. Anytime you walk in a room and guys really love the game, they care about their teammates, they care about winning, that's always a good thing. So I'm just excited to see how we cheer each other on in the fall.
And how has the experience been for you so far being here? I mean, you know, you had a lot of change over the last couple of years, coastal West Virginia, now here. What's the experience been like here on campus for you?
Well, it's been good. I mean, wherever you go, whether it's coastal, West Virginia, here, you're in the football office, you're meeting, you're around football coaches. You really don't get out on campus much. So it's kind of wherever your office is, that's kind of what your experience is.